magic little square of paper. You ever seen them? The tiny little magic things that got glitter and they're funny. So I took one, and I was in an emotional state, let's say. I don't really. Notice I'm being kind to myself. My friends would say I was a complete fucking maniac. But so this is the story of that night, and it starts off like the Manson family, but it ends up like the Waltons. So I think that's kind of a nice turnaround, you know. It's all about turning things around, isn't it? Now this one's called A Van Fever Incident. You'd think after 25 years I learned to tune a guitar. Okay. Returning from a concert we had given late last night, I was feeling very strange indeed. Something weren't quite right. You see, I've been drinking whiskey and taking LSD, and something very strange indeed was coming over me. I said, you stop the van this instant or I'll kick these windows out. I'll break my hands on these tin walls. I bawl and scream and shout. So, no surprise, they let me go. We pulled up by the park. I said, I'll see you later, boys, and I ran off to the dark. I ran off to the dark. I ran off to the dark. I said, I'll see you later, boys, and I ran off to the dark. Now, my first taste of freedom found me feeling all alone. I was standing like a lunatic, 30 miles from home, but after a while of weeping, a time I could not specify, I realised a lady friend by chance lived quite close by. So I thought I'd pay a visit, though the hour was somewhat strange. I thought she wouldn't want to see me all alone, and after rain she stopped clapping. I made my way to her house. She lived with her family. And I hadn't yet met her mum and dad, and they hadn't yet met me, so into her back garden, so stealthily I crept, and I threw some tiny pebbles about the window where she slept. And oh joy, the curtains parted, and I looked up hopefully to see her mother and her father both staring back at me. So, fast as light I left that place, and down the road I fled. And I hid inside some bushes, quaking, shaking out my head. And could have been hours or minutes, you know, I still couldn't tell the time. But I thought I heard sweet Sarah's voice call my name as she passed by. So with the greatest courage, I crawled from my hiding place. And from the pavement in the dawn, I looked up into her face. I looked up into her face. I looked up into her face. From the pavement in the dawn, I looked up into her face. And she smiled and said, hello, you know. I thought it might have been you. She was standing with her old man, and he said, how do you do? And I was babbling incoherently, but they seemed to understand. She brushed the dirt from off my clothes, and she took me by the hand. And we went back to her house, and her mum was making tea. She said, I'm pleased to meet you. And she steered me to a seat. I wasn't laughing, I'll tell you. So I mumbled my apologies, how I humbly apologised for my unplanned arrival, late at night and wild of eye, late at night and wild of eye, late at night and wild of eye, my unplanned arrival, late at night and wild of eyes. And she said that's quite all right, you know, you seem a nice young man, but next time try and warn us in advance, please, if you can. And I was like, Mrs. George, you haven't done a lot of LSD, have you? Because really, it's kind of hard to keep track of time, do you know, when that's... And what's that elephant doing? Yeah, I just have one spoon, sugar, thanks. Just one spoon, thanks. Don't look at her, she turned into a lizard. Don't look. Mrs. George, she turned into a lizard. I didn't say that, I was like, thanks. And I knew that I was lucky! So I thank my lucky stars. Yes, I knew that I was lucky. So I thank my lucky stars. Yes, I knew that I was lucky, so I thank my lucky stars because that night had ended up in love and not a police car.